great players on both teams. Vision, Doomed, you know them as elite duelists, and of course, who could forget Super Gomez and Rymazing, the duelist on the other side. This is going to be a matchup, my man.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I hope we're treated with another Adam Warlock from Vision. He was picking people apart last time on that one, but I'm really excited to get a little bit more teeth into the Sentinel teams. I think the Rymazing and Super Gomez shout-out's huge. I think Aramori also deserves a massive shout-out there and seeing what they're going to be willing to go with today. But we're already into the picks and bans. We got the Wolverine banned away by Shroud against Super Gomez. Then we got the Hela ban, the Protect of the Bucky, and the Star-Lord so far.
Yeah, if you don't like Hela, no worries, because Sentinels hate her, and you're never going to see her. They ban her often and early here. Now, Doomed played a lot of the Bucky Barnes that we saw in the MRI, but then Vision started to take over there. Vision, an elite duelist to keep your eyes on. We got the Luna ban going from the Sentinels here, leading into what will now be the response on the offense of what has been a great random mag pick. Royal Palace Domination. Triple Red shut down. The teams are locking in. Here we go, man. Domination is always a good time.
I love starting on Domination because we get the blood pumping. We get to see what these teams are really doing, see how much grittiness we get between them two, as well as what compositions we're leaning towards at least. I expect the Star-Lord to be rampant now that we're getting that Protect coming through for it. Obviously, the Winter Soldier has been a constant pick in the meta, but I love to see maybe some adaptations from the strategist role if we are going to get the Lokis or if we're just going to stick to the tried and true tradition of the Rocket Raccoon and Invisible Woman.
Yeah, and you might notice Hogs is not in the Sentinels lineup. One of the greats at Vanguards, but he has even admitted he is just, this is not his meta. He's not a group player. He struggles with it. Crimzo takes over for him for group. We saw Crimzo step up great last time, and so look for him to fill Hogs' role, but Hogs is tough to replace. Very great player. Love to watch and see what he does. Shroud X, the team formed together from Shroud himself. They have showed promise, bunch of young guns with great friendship, and it's led at the helm of fantastic individual players, just like we saw from Magnets. Nobody really is shy from the limelight. They all play incredible. And we go and we start with Domination in Odin's archive here. And here we go, Royal Palace.
Yeah. I'm looking at Crimzo, what impact he's going to have on this Groot. I really like Impunity's Groot, see what he can do to set up some spatial differences here. I really like that Sentinels are going first and foremost up onto this point to try to get this. We are just getting fisticuffs early, Cozy.
Yeah, aggression right away. Both these teams taking the high ground. Nobody caring about the point. There's the barrage.
The
it was nerfed for a reason. That thing can rip through and Vision. And we've got the Invisible Woman going down in one swoop. Super Gomez just picking up where we left him off. They always say they love to let him off the leash, let him go crazy. Star-Lord is what he used to be best at. Been playing a lot of Wolverine lately, and he's back with Chris Pratt himself, and he does a great job there on the opening point.
I'm going to start calling that combo the bouncy ball because you literally just watched it bounce all over the other team there, and now we got the re-push in. This high point is really good to defend from.
Yeah, absolutely here, as now the point is Sentinels to gain, but right now plenty still in the tank for Shroud X. They've got the ultimates charging up that they're looking for here. Look for Nuck to push that amplified damage early, but Rymazing, who I don't see on Winter Soldier almost ever, is playing a, probably put a lot of practice in because that right now clearly has been that meta. Kalu's now trying to get that early poke damage on Impunity, who's been a great group thus far. Super Gomez always looking his eyes out there for something like the BRB device, and he's going in, trying to get Fidel early. Super Gomez now trying to get that high ground, pushing in, and with the beautiful flip, twist, and shoot. He takes down both supports without even breathing. Look at this man go.
Super Gomez let off the leash for sure as he gets a triple there for himself, and now they can just leave the point here and keep this angle on this redeploying side.
There are times that he just goes crazy. Like, he is just so insane. And again, I haven't seen Rymazing on this Winter Soldier, so it's been fun to see here. Again, Aramori, one of the best at it. Both teams going to show the ultimate fireworks. About to be a light show in here as we have both of them popping everything they got. Impunity with the nice poke damage, and the prison got to pop in.
We did end up getting the Lokis in here as well and trying to get this Strangling Prison in for Impunity. Maybe looking for an angle now.
Here we go. We got the counter. Dogman soaking up all of that legendary, and he connects with Amazing. Unfortunately, Super Gomez charged up Dogman, who was able to get the connection. Now takes down Kurova. Airmori, and this point is going to go back over to Shroud X. 99% up, but they do have life. Unfortunately, they had to use every bit of ultimate. This is what's so tough about capping second. You don't have anything left in the tank after getting the cap.
It's they got to find a gas station, and that gas station is going to be trying to pop some of these shots before the engage comes through. Because if you look over at Sentinels, they are about to have their big wombo combo, and especially led off by Crimzo. Again, we said this is a guy we got to keep an eye on how he's going to be, the impact he's going to have on this Vanguard role. Now he has the tee up for a great spot in this fight.
Absolutely. Any gas stations in Asgard, we'll have to find out. But we're Amazing found something there, getting doomed right out of it early and often. And a huge traffic impact on what seems to be the entire team. Amazing debuting his Winter Soldier in fashion. You would think it's from the Captain America movie. Fantastic play and huge combo setup. Wow.
That might have been the most people I've ever seen hit by a Kraken impact at once. I know it was a lot of clones, but it still felt good. The dopamine hit of that one is going to live rent-free. And honestly, a very dominant game number one, at least map number one here in this domination.
Yeah, I swear there was like 12 people in that ultimate. I mean, absolute beauty. Everybody hit with that
the damage numbers go burr.
Yeah, exactly, man. Bucky he doesn't know the word quit. Same as Amazing. Great job. You know, not a lot to take away from that other than it kind of was just Sentinels from the beginning there, from the opening Super Gomez play, and just it's super tough, you know, again, to kind of kick it in a high gear. Looking at the ultimates here, it's about even, though. So look for this first team fight yet again to matter a lot, and both teams can easily get it up for grabs. Fidel playing the Shark here just to get everybody the bubble boost if you're curious of why he's playing the adorable threat that is Jeff.
What is your favorite cheese? Like, cause we get a lot of different ones. What is your favorite cheese? The like insta swap heroes.
Oh yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's gotta be Jeff, and when he's doing the little like barrel roll that he does in the water, it's just, especially in the pink outfit there. Come on, man, like that is that's all you need, man. As both
mine's
teams
the sword. Mine's the Magneto sword with the Scarlet Witch. Just that easy early cheese for a lot of damage. But now we got to look at a lot of damage here. Sentinels on the verge of this map one.
Yeah, absolutely. Here is Doom getting some nice poke damage and flank hits from the side, putting something on Crimzo early as it's forcing Sentinels to step back a little bit. But here goes Super Gomez, just going off, doing what he does. But this time, Vision able to snipe the fish there and take out what has been the threat of this match so far. Beautiful play, Mason, though, trying to get the same done on Doom. Was able to successfully. And not only that, they rotated the pressure perfectly. Collude with the great space making and giving the point up for free over to Sentinels. Gazelle?
Oh, that's so tough to see as well, because then this point take is so much more difficult, especially when you have ultimates available. Armori, Super Gomez, they're about to have all the combos back up for Sentinels, and you do have all yours available for Shroud too, but you gotta find it in.
You want this right here. I was going to say Legendary has to come out. They don't have the Magneto ult to counter it, so this should be able to clean up something. They're forced to use the invisible boundary from both teams now, so unable to get any connection, but taking down some key abilities there. We've got the Groot ult coming in with Crimson. They're trying to capitalize. They're taking a page out of the Amazing book we just saw as Vision gets one, now two, looking to set to three. He goes again. The clones are down. The Kraken impact is up, and he is going crazy with the resets. That's what you want to see, and they didn't have to use all too much. The Legendary pop for the key abilities, and the point is theirs as Super Gomez goes down.
He gets up getting the last one. A penta elimination from Vision, a guy that we highlighted coming into it. We know he can pop shots, but on this Winter Soldier too, and making it know that he can play these kinds of picks as well. And just now, the retake from Sentinels is very difficult themselves. They will have ultimates coming up much sooner than Shroud.
Yeah, especially if you're looking at, I mean, you can open with the Kraken impact into what the combo will be with Crimzo here. I think that's why a lot of people were shocked that Groot didn't get a nerf. It's like, wow, you can continue the setups, but the devs again said they liked it. They like all the diverse play. We saw it, triple Vanguard. Now we're seeing Groot versus Groot action. A lot of I Am Groots out there as we've got the Meteor going up and going down from Cluj. It gets no connection. It is blocked with a Legendary pop by Super Gomez. Everything coming out. They knew that Shroud X has no defensive ultimate, and look at this, man. They're able to just rain down eliminations. There's a new goddess of death. Call them gods of death. It's Amazing and Super Gomez.
Apparently it is, and maybe an establishing of a new pantheon. here in this upper bracket as Sentinels looking real dominant when they can take these points, but now the other side, it's just a back and forth nature. It's like we're watching a tennis match and the ball is just going back and forth. Everything available now for Shroud.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, 67%, now 68. Again, we've got the ultimates. They want to look to stagger these a little bit as we have the legendary coming out from Doomed, and this is going to get and fish out those key abilities here. Again, though, they don't want to use too much. Shroud X, you want to be able to keep some more for the next fight. You're going to find yourself in the exact same situation. Fidel, though, getting up that invisible boundary, keeping everybody alive, nobody going down. This is the way they want the fight to go right now to start things out. Fidel keeping nice healing going, but trying to hide from what is going to be the meteor from Kaluge. Does so successfully. Here comes the other meteor. Both meteors whipping as now the team has been pushed away. Great space from Shroud X, but again, now everything being used at once. And with that, Amazing taking out Vision. Dogman with the trade as well. Mazel, will this be Sentinels, or can they come back?
This is tough. The overtime is ticking here, and it's looking good. Oh, they're losing bodies here, though.
This has been a continual fight in Grudge Match. The portal's going to be too late. Not enough time on the clock. Unfortunately, Sentinels, great fight there. Just unable to get anything that put the period on the sentence. There was no eliminations there. And Sentinels taking the first domination map.
Man, and it was pretty dominant as well across the board. I mean, the map one definitely was way more dominant, but the push and pull factor of knowing what you have available to you and using that kind of ultimate sway to have those big moments really felt good that both teams were kind of keeping track of that, but Sentinels definitely having a little bit of the better of it. And you see yet another Invisible Woman MVP starting to rise the ranks of the meta champs.
Absolutely, and that's what I want to see if I'm looking at Sentinels. I you know, at times I've been saying they've had a little bit of an identity crisis with the team play and the comps that they're wanting to do. Because of the unexpected Hogs having to shift out from Crimzo, and they kind of found that last weekend. We kind of noticed that, and they really brought that all in. Amazing playing a different role, able to completely adjust and did a phenomenal performance. But domination, anything can happen. Convoy can be a different story. We've seen a lot of that today. Expect to see even more of it. Man, anything but before we jump in and take a look back, anything you want to highlight quickly?
I still think some of the additions that Crimzo is adding in terms of what he's able to present as a frontliner, and especially those engages, was really nice to see. Even trying to step in the shoes, big shoes to fill, rather. And to see a lot of that team play come through and the coordination feels really good for Sentinels. I need to see a little bit more of that from the other side of things as well from Shroud.
From coach to player, Crimzo, he's doing a good job. Let's go ahead and relive it and check out the highlights. Again, we are back, and just like that, we had Sentinels beat Shroud X in domination. These are the top 8 teams, some of the best players in all of Marvel Rivals. And when you look at the matchup that we just saw with the two teams, what was your big takeaway, Mazel?
I just want to see at least maybe differentiations in some of the comps as well. I still think this like Groot line that's obviously the meta right now is so impactful if you can time it correctly. And on domination, it's really hard to kind of get that ebb and flow going back and forth if you do get that domination on the ultimate setup. And we saw great timings coming out from Sentinels, but trying to look forward a little bit here and moving on to a convoy map that does have that differentiation in terms of strategy you can pull out. So now we're looking at the picks and at least the protects coming through. It is that Wolverine still has that comfort ban away.
We've seen Wolverine ban the first pick every single time. When you get to this stakes, this level of play, nobody wants to deal with them. He's out of there. Speaking of roots, again, Sentinel returning to their roots. I'd said it before, Hela will not see play against Nightmare. They just don't want to deal with it. Their duelists are too flexible and can play other roles, and not one kind of locks down that Hela role often. Amazing would be the one to do it. He'd rather kind of flex around. We just saw the success of that earlier. Luna, though, getting the keep there from Shroud X.
Yeah, I think a little bit of change-ups, I guess, coming through here, but also something that we've seen very strong with those kinds of big burly tanks in the front as well. But the Star-Lord Protect still is going to be there as well.
Yeah, absolutely here. And Spider Island, another map that we will be sunsetting in Season 1, so enjoy it while it lasts here on Convoy in competitive play. Looking at the lineup here, it's great. I actually enjoy this map a lot. A lot of fun locations, a lot of good high ground and flank routes. Team, though, staying similar. Super Gomez, though, we've actually got the triple Vanguard at that. And I've seen them play this before on defense here. We just saw it from 100 Thieves. This map just sets you up for so much success to put spawn pressure down because you're able to get back and have one more chance of a fight.
It's really important. It's about buying those little seconds here or there, right? Like when we were looking at the last series that we were watching, it was those kind of little moments that actually mattered in trying to get the extra flank angles with the extra like distance between where those angles are and the point itself. But when you start having to get that long walk back, it definitely doesn't feel great. So you want to try to keep it up, and if you need to pull back, raise the white flag and back up a little bit.
100%. White Queen's going to change this triple Vanguard lineup a lot. I cannot wait for her to come to the game. Emma Frost, not to bring the Nightmare, but Sentinels, it's their chance to put a Nightmare on Shroud as we go into the defensive hold. Spider Island, here we go.
So they're going to get pressure immediately as they come out here. Really good hold out here by Sentinels. They got a little bit of distance as well with that Johnny Flame coming out from Doom. Getting some decent damage coming through too.
Who's the shotgun of the duelist, and this is actually a great place to pull out Johnny Storm. Got a favor, and it's been just the prescription of Human Torch that I've needed. Here he is, ready to go. They knew they would probably go with the triple Vanguard, and Doom swapping over to some immediate heat, pun intended, to put a lot of pressure on them fast and early. And he's trying to make the square, getting the firewalls up and ready to go. We've seen no Human Torch. It's great to see it, as now immediately Sentinels pushed to a little bit of uncomfortable positioning. They're gonna have to reset, and look at Nuck immediately ready to go with an ultimate, but we've got the Kraken Impact ready. Kurova with the boundary to protect him from what is going to be the inevitable Vision Omega Hurricane. But Mason gets the first lap, taking down Impunity, and just like that, damage pouring out from both teams. Great play, huge push off there from the Invisible Woman.
Hey, they still have some ultimates as well from Sentinel's side, though, to try to push back into them. Fidel is going to be coming down of his dancing here pretty soon, but they're going to push right back into the point. And now you have Aramori maybe with his own rebuttal.
Oh, here it is, the team up, Storm, Supernova. It's the combination you can't out heal. It's so much damage at once. You see Sentinels trying to survive it. They did a good job splitting up so that it can't just team wipe everybody and not getting the connections they were hoping for, holding on to two very key ultimates. Can't afford to miss those, as Dogman gets a nice Agamotto, though, taking down Crimson and Super Gomez. They don't need no Supernova. They just need the Supreme, the Sorcerer himself. And here we go as the portal comes back immediately from Amazing now, swapping over, trying to get in, trying to get to the pressure, and Super Gomez continuing his role. Crimso trying to get the imprisonment, throws it out successfully. Can they get the impact? Yes, they do, as Kaluge hits the double, no triple, and they were able to stop that defense. That looked like it was all for Shroud X.
That was a clean ace. I mean, that was a full team wipe there as well, and now they will be a little bit off. Kaluge is going to have his Meteor of him here very soon, but you're a little bit closer for the side of Shroud. Trying to get some of this preemptive damage in here, but these angles are so difficult to deal with, and you have to think about the flank angles as well. The flangles, I like to call them, over on the other side.
And Super Gomez, even though he didn't get an elimination there, he got the lanterns down. That's all you want. And he's out, right? He did exactly his job there. And now for this close fight, there's a 25-second time slot for them to really capitalize on it, though. Doom trying to do the same thing on their team, but nope, going after the Magneto, putting him in an uncomfortable position, forcing Kurova to pop the invisible boundary. Does just that. We've got the Meteor coming up, coming down with no connection today, as Doom now going with the legendary, popping the runestones, and oh my, Kurova was an inch away from the lanterns, and just like that, they are using everything left to get point one.
Really good swaps from Shroud here, going through and getting Doom to have these kind of multi-angles, not only, but now getting this next push. They have a lot of time to work with to push forward. They're going to take this aggressive angle as well and kind of keep the tempo up.
Absolutely. That was great teamwork play there. And it's funny, you got the Storm and Johnny Storm, and that was unable to get the success. All you need is a little bit of teamwork to get the job done. Dogman playing great on Magneto here, as he does have that meteor to open things up. Really the only thing that they're going to have for a good amount of this team fight, although we've seen both players able to get their ultimate so fast. And there's the legendary Super Gomez, the legendary Star-Lord himself. Popping it down, Runestone's activated, keeping everybody alive, but Impunity was able to trade and get rid of Kaluj in return. That was massive.
It was indeed, and now we see Doom still going at it, getting another KO as well. Now trying to chase down Super Gomez on the other side. He is still bumping him here as well, going for even more as they end up trying to find Armori, but he is going to make it out just fine, at least for now. The push is still going to be there over halfway on this second phase.
That's what you want to see from Doomed and Vision, right? We just talked about that at the break. We wanted to see them kind of rise up to what we know they can play, the caliber that they play at. They played fantastic last weekend, going up against a great team in the Sentinels, as Dogman has pretty much never died so far. Not one, no pressure, but I said it too soon. He's forced to use a bubble, and my gosh, it's a caster curse. He goes down to Rymazing immediately. Rymazing with the double kill. That's going to give them everything that they need to get things rolling, and just like that, we now have the grand finale happening there, and the dance from Nuck to keep things spicy.
You got to keep the dancing shoes on here. It's going to get a little bit of damage back from the side of Sentinels. I gotta think though, Rymazing with the resets, Kalush with the Meteor of M, these have been big pieces, but I'm looking at the dual strategist ultis up and available for Sentinels to try to stop this.
Yeah, the Nuck, the fate of both worlds is just to keep the team alive, and they might miss that here when you have all this offensive powerhouse coming, especially when Super Gomez can get the elimination, taking down Doomed early from the fight. Super Gomez looking to put the pedal on. You got one elimination, you might as well get them all, as that's the mantra he likes to live by. Doom, though, has been great on the other side of things. The dual pistols himself has been bringing Doom to the team. Who needs the doctor when you've got just Doomed doing what he does best? Legendary ready to access. They know that they have the meteor to soak it in. Toulouse forced to do the meteor now. And here it goes. The trade of ultimates, the counters, the big picks. Crimso getting the best of it right now with Vision going down. Key pick early. Fate of both worlds up. And this could be a massive win here as Shroud X is trying to use everything left to get through this hard choke point. That is point 2.
They are. There's the Meteor of It coming out from Dogman as well. Hey, gonna get a nice little dunk there. Hey, as the Galactic Legend is in the sky, I don't think it's gonna matter. Super Gomez immediately forced to push back off, and they are on the verge of prolonging this one as we get another Fate of Both Worlds coming through too. That's gonna be a massive lengthening of this fight here, Cozy.
Yeah, Nuck had to use it early, but now it's coming at the perfect time with the barrage happening and taking down Magneto, Star-Lord, now Groot, all falling to... Wait a second. Fidel on Luna Snow. Love to see you, man. Good stuff. Great hold from Sentinels, but even better cap from Shroud X. And we look to see if they can get through what has been a tricky point that we've seen last weekend and to this.
Yeah, this little section is always so difficult. Love to see Doom playing very aggressive on the Star-Lord. Obviously a save that they've been willing to go for. See if Fidel's switch to the Luna is going to be enough, but then a KO already coming through for Kalush. He's getting close to the Meteor of M.
He's always just, he leaves no room for space. Like the 6 feet rule. Nope, he doesn't abide by it. He's just going right at them now. As Super Gomez now even putting the more pressure onto Doom, but they're a little overextended. Might need to reset here. And at one point, it looks like Crimson, it looked like he used his ultimate with the prison, but because they were all so close together, but they were able just to kind of force that the bond ship and get the eliminations. Rymazing with a huge pick, turn, and roll as they punish Dogman, who's been surviving and playing great.
I'm looking at Shroud now. Can they get a big push? They do have some of their ultimates, but not having Dongman is very difficult. Impunity still have the Strangling Prison, but if you look over the side of Sentinels, almost all 6 ultimates are available, and they're getting picks too.
My goodness, amazing, beautiful play yet again from the Winter Soldier, and the shields are up, protecting them from the Impunity. The prison going down. Kalush with the response, and the dunk, the slam, the NBA jam as he gets the 2-piece and punishes Shroud X here with overtime to go.
They still have this push. I mean, this long push here as well. They're getting some cleanups here too. Sentinels, they might have just held on over Shroud. The overtime is down, and that'll just be 2 caps on the other side of things.
That was a quick finish, man. It went from, it was close to the avalanche that was and has been Super Gomez. I mean, the pressure.
Yeah.
You ever have those Spider-Man matches where there's Spider-Man pestering you all the time? It seems like he's always in your face.
Absolutely.
It's Super Gomez right now because he's constantly putting pressure on the team.
He really has been, and we saw with those flanks early on, but also being impactful throughout. I think the duality of things when you have two Star-Lords on the map is who is being very reserved with their Galactic Legend more so than the other, because you can always have that big cleanup moment on the Star-Lord. But now we have to think, is that going to still be the case here? Super Gomez has been kind of unanswered in a lot of these fights, and want to see if maybe some readaptation of focus on who they can pick out quickly can come through for the side of Sentinels.
Yeah, absolutely here. And again, we've seen a lot of triple Vanguard here to stop them in this defensive hold. And nope, Shroud X is going to stick with what they're tried and true here, and they've got what they want to have. But again, yeah, I think honestly, great play all around. There wasn't outside of what I would say would be the aggression from the duelist side of the Sentinels. They can hold them here. I mean, that was a great hold, but hey, we saw an even better one with 100 Thieves versus Magnets, and how crazy of the Yggdrasil's path that was.
Yeah, that's going to be living in our head for the foreseeable future, but we are getting a little bit of that combo coming through here now. We have the Storm for Super Gomez yet again. Going to switch right back over after that speed up came through. Back to the Star-Lord and try to get pressure here. Now you have to think about these angles, though. Amazing is looking to take down some of the clones, Cozy, early on.
Even Aaron Moore going to Scarlet Witch for all of 3 seconds to get the sword out there for just enough pressure. Like, that's the belief you want to hear and see when you're Kaluge on that Magneto, playing a great job here. Right, Mason going for the hook. The Groot Walls, though, he's hanging on. He's at the patience, but unable to connect. Getting a nice little hit there, and the connection to Impunity, taking down the Groot. That walk back's going to be a long one, as now they're going to be forced to push back. One Vanguard down, and Dogman's the only last wall of defense. And just like that, dragged into the chaos was the clone. And luckily, Impunity getting out of there safely.
They are getting pushed back so far. So much distance is being gained here as well from Sentinels. And now they're pushed into the side cubby hole, completely away from the point. And we're having ultimates coming up as well. We do have some defensive ones here coming through from Shroud soon, but Sentinel is going to be willing to pick up the pressure.
Nuck with the cave pop drop here in just a moment as Fidel gets the snipe on Kaluge. That was sick. Something out of what we would see from Cooper-tastic in that duelist Luna that we love to talk about. Vision with a nice pick. And once pushed away all the way to the back of the map, they were able to get that aggression and put it right back over to Sentinels. Great job with the reset there, because that was looking rough as you go in with 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. That's a lot holding.
Both sides having ultimates. Here goes the Galactic Legend duel, and it's gonna be Doom that gets the win.
Yeah, clutch bubble there, right? The Magneto bubble was able to keep him alive just enough, and the legendary counter is always best against another legendary, but when you've got a Magneto bubble to keep you alive, Dogman, great awareness there.
Really, really good heads up stuff. And those are the little moments that I feel like buys a little bit of time on both sides of things, but especially for Doomed. Now coming back into things, though, we still have some reservation on using these ultimates. Sentinels trying to make the push around this corner. They still have a lot of tools. I'm mostly looking at this Strangling Prison and that Kraken Impact.
Yeah, right now Shroud X doing a great job. We saw Domination didn't go their way, but they're playing as a team now, a unit, as Vision gets hooked in. Was able to survive for a moment, uses the Kraken Impact to do so, but then gets eliminated. Both duelists out of the fight. There's no firepower left, but all of the firepower in the Sentinels' hands as Amazing is looking through a fireworks show of color as he continues to try to get the pick, waiting out the ultimates, and now he's going to collapse here on the Luna, trying to get her out of the fight, but just like that, Vision comes in with the portal. The fight's extended. Crimzo trying to get the stackers going. Super Gomez with the amped up damage from the purple. Great swap over there to get the 2-piece. And now blocking in that portal, and they're going to finish out this cap unless Doom can get something rolling. He does not, and it is going to go to the Sentinel.
Super Gomez getting his Galactic Legend there was so clutch, and at the right time they get this first push. And you remember, they don't even have to make it all the way to the third point. They just have to get to that spot that Shroud were in, and now we're getting a reset of fights. Crimzo getting very close to Strangling Prison yet again. Really good heads up play from Sentinels so far in their attacking side.
Great awareness from Fidel, getting the Snowflake on the Star-Lord there in Doom, but then getting his Groot Impunity back up just by the nick of time here. Now Nuck trying to keep Good clone spaceman to be getting a clutch runestone when needed. It's ready to go at any time to protect themselves. What is going to be the inevitable Crimzo ultimate. Here it is. Lancers are on cooldown. There they are. And just like clockwork, everybody doing their role in tremendous play as the meteor drops. And Crimzo, though, getting a beautiful connection there.
From coach to star player, that was like a 5-man strangling prison into a quadra. Crimzo making his name known here, saying, hey, I might be stepping in, but I'm a big member here.
And coaches know how to play, right? They wouldn't be where they're at unless they knew what to see. And it's always cool to have someone with so much awareness of what the team's going to be trying to do. And then having that as a call and call outs while you're live playing is insane. Now, we do have plenty of ultimates. The Kurova Amazing combo is what we'll look to see. Aaron Mori also is going to be able to do the Fate of Both Worlds, keeping everybody up. So they've got 2 clutch support ultimates to keep the battle going. And they're at the point. It's point 2 right here, right now. This is probably going to be the match for Shroud X to hold on to. His vision goes up, no connection, trying to get something rolling, shooting his pistol one by one. The grab's going, but no, Amazing. We go to him. Great camera work there as he takes down Impunity. One grab to another. Amazing going down with a cracking impact. Amazing reset. Amazing up again, and he's going to save it for just the opportune time. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and he lands it. And if it's not him, it's the legendary.
Super Gomez finishing things off there. Again, we're back to the dance floor. 4 Fate of Both Worlds used in that fight, and you wonder why it took so long for it to go down. Now it is Sentinels putting the vast pressure that they've gained themselves into the face of Shroud. They've got to try to get to the point because we're getting closer and closer here, Cozy.
Yeah, there's not much more room to give. Kalush could be able to have that meteor connection. No ulti to give, and if you're on Shroud X, you're just got to play lights out. All abilities, no flashing colors outside the Magneto ult that we knew, and it does not connect. So Steven by Impunity, though, with the quick prison, the combo, Vision going crazy, and bam, the impact, making the impact and getting the stop. But there's still 2 minutes, and they're going to have to space out this ultimate play, as it is just a punish hit after hit there from Vision.
You'd think he'd be playing Punisher with that one, but he is playing Winter Soldier, and Bucky Barnes going wild. You still have just a few meters to push. The stop is not going to be easy, but can Shroud do it?
Oh my goodness, it's looking to be close, but minute 47 seconds. That's a tall task as Aaron Moore getting that nice healing in as Loki Crimson ready for the throwing into prison right now as the connections are trying to go, but no, Doom getting rid of one of the finishers in Super Gomez for that connection, and that was a huge pick at the right time, showing great heart here as the team now pushing it back 5, 6, 7 meters to go with a minute 25 on the clock.
And they still have some ultimates available. More importantly, looking at now both sides of things kicking off. We get the dance party, but is it going to be enough?
Yep, there we go. Damage up. Cracking impact down. Eye of Agamotto from Dogman. It was a good connection there. Fidel keeping team up. Beautiful save, but Fidel getting rid of Amazing. Key pick here in the fight. But we've got Kalush with the meteor. It's been unsuccessful in 2 straight purple balls, but can the third one land? It does not. But it does counter correctly. Doom, though, taking down Super Gomez yet again. Only 53 seconds now. They're doing a great job.
It's getting so close to the wire. They're going to get another Fate of Both Worlds here. Try to push up. Strangling Prison on the 3.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful ultimate, right? But is it going to be a bit early? 40 seconds left in the clock. All you've got is that Kraken impact now with maybe Fidel's Fate of Both Worlds coming into play if he can get it fast enough. But honestly, looking at the teams, this is going to favor definitely Shroud X.
I mean, this is just going to be fisticuffs. We're close to Crimzo getting his ult, but we are very far from everybody else. Fidel is the big one I'm looking at here. The Fate of Both Worlds can make this final push matter all that much more. 15 seconds down, Cozy.
Aaron Moore, Kurova far from their strategy. So here comes the stand down. The impact isn't going to be able to do its job. They actually survive it, which is a massive finish. But Fidel forced now to go into the Fate of Both Worlds. This is exactly what Sentinels was hoping for, being on the other side of the ultimate advantage. Dogman, though, taken down. Now we've got 3, 4. It's going to be Shroud X with a last-second hold to make it 1-1. Who saw that coming? Beautiful.
Hey, we're trying to keep up with what happened in that last series. Give us a little bit of blood boiling over here, and it is do or die for this upper bracket run for both these two teams. Obviously, lower bracket is still there for them, but somebody has to go ahead and go meet Hunter Thieves in that upper bracket. And I know both these teams want it so badly. Now we get to see that kind of response here as well. And more importantly, so we got to see a lot of the best things from both teams represented here.
Yeah, and I mean, we're just getting near 70,000 healing matches, match over match here. Again, you thought they were out. Wrong timeline. This is the multiverse. Anything can happen. Shroud X rising up to the occasion, really showing a dominant performance from what was a struggling domination matchup. Anything can happen at this point.
Dude, I love that we get the 1-1 setup moving forward. It is a best of 5. We still have a lot going for us, but that stop, that defend, and the reservation of some of those ultimates were my brightest point on that side. And getting to see a lot of what we got to see last weekend from Shroud, a lot of the things that made me really proud to get to cover this team with the cohesion we saw from them.
Yeah, great patience, and honestly, the ultimate management there was what it came down to. And they even survived the Bucky Barnes Winter Soldier. Like, they were able to keep things alive, and I'm like, wow, this should be Sentinels to lose at this point, and lose they did. I just want to watch it back. Let's go ahead. Let's watch the highlights. We got a great match 3 coming up. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Shroud X living up to the moment. They were able to tie things up, and we've got ourselves match 3 now. Both teams showing a little bit of blood, but who is going to fall? Listen, I think we saw exactly what we wanted to see. Vision and Doomed were able to step things up. I thought Nuck and Fidel did a great job, though, on their role as strategists. Again, 65k healing. Nuck does a phenomenal job as Loki.
Yeah, there were some really clutch moments there. I will just say, you know, having 4 Luna ultimates, it's a lot of time to buy for both sides of things. It's a little good. But it is something where maybe that changes up going into this next map. It is a situation where we're 1-1 in a best of 5, so we still have a lot of game left to play for both sides. And I think we got a nice, at least, setup for both teams on what we wanted to see from them in different categories.
And we are in domination. Love it. Love the pick here in the map. It's always just pure chaos. We got the Scarlet Witch showing up, and she's not even played. Fidel with the nice little troll there on Black Widow. Obviously, we see the Hello Wolverine. What else is new? But we got the Luna Protect there from Shroud X, which is going to force either A, an Namor ban, or B, a potential left field save. No, we're going to stick with Star-Lord here. And so this will probably just be the triple res shutdown from Shroud X. And it's the Namor there from Sentinels.
Yeah, I think it has to be the Adam Warlock ban away here in the end. But I do like that Namor ban, just taking away some of those angle plays that can be given. But we'll see what exactly is these kind of differentiation between the team compositions here, as the Luna actually did make a bit of an impact in that last matchup.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was some snipes going on there from their team. They were able to really get the best. Fidel was doing great there in the role. Namor does insanely well, too, here in Domination. And so it's, you know, cool to see they're going to stick with what they had. Super Gomez should just be playing Star-Lord unless Wolverine's available. So I'm glad he's sticking to that. And, yeah, again, no triple res is it always makes things a bit more spicy.
A little spicy. We aren't going to have the 5-minute long fights, which, you know, honestly, now that we haven't had any today, makes me a little sad. I do kind of miss it. But our voices will definitely be happy for it. This is a situation there where we did see a step up from Crimzo. Again, the coach coming into play, filling big shoes rather, but had major impacts on this Groot. And I'm now looking at Impunity on the other side, still that Groot 1v1 matchup there, but to kind of have that same impact for Shroud.
I think this comes a lot down to Super Gomez versus Doomed. Having that early pressure, fast, loose, and often. I mean, this with such close quarters, is going to be the difference here as Aramori shooting everybody up with those bubbles, get the speed on, and there is the swap to Loki as she's been playing great so far. First point, keep a lookout. First fight about to commence.
Yeah, I love to see it. And first and foremost, a little bit of scuffling going on the side here as we move in more. It is going to be a little bit of move, though, because it does seem like Shroud taking the other option angle and trying to get to the point first.
A great clone setup here. Always love to look and try to place them up there. Great healing and damage. They notice it right away, though, and it is a common spot. And right away, what did we say? We got Super Gomez going after Doom and putting the aggression to the max. That's going to allow him to continue the aggression as we've seen all day with these two teams. Super Gomez now getting rid of impunity, and right now the whole aggression is the Sentinels. And what did I say? It comes down to Star-Lord Peter Quill, who is going to get more of those blaster hits in, and right now it is Sentinels.
Really love to see a little bit of these angles being played towards. Just the defensive posture that we are getting out of Sentinels as well. And Kaluj able to be a massive frontliner here for them. I'm really looking at the impact now, though, as this second push comes in because we're getting close to ultimates. I'm waiting to see Aramori get hers coming up here. But first and foremost, it's Shroud looking to crest into theirs as well.
Yeah, look at how much Super Gomez has over-doomed in this situation just because that early pick, and that's the advantage, right? You're able to get so much going, and Dogman is not going to have time. Oh, he does actually get that meteor in, so you do have the counter available for the Legendary that's going to pop out here any minute. Right, Mason, though, able to follow up immediately. All ultimates, though, are online, so that first cap won't matter as much as both teams are about an even footing. Kaluj going up with the ball and landed the dunk again on the double slam down, taking out Fidel, Vision. They all go now, and they are playing with vengeance. They've taken that one loss personally.
They absolutely did, and one goes down, you all join them, as that is the statement from Sentinels here. Massive setup, as well as still having a ton of these ultimates. I'm looking at Super Gomez and Amazing and Aramori. Her ultimate gonna be super impactful to have that strategist style coming through, but Amazing and Super Gomez really ready to up the tempo.
Yeah, Kaluj with that anime arc final boss energy right there. Like, we have not seen a ton of insane meteor impacts, and that has been probably the best of the of today, at least. And we've seen a lot of great ones. Now, Nuck is going to go into the Luna, has 12 seconds to spare, going to wait out the fate of both worlds. You're going to see Coachella. The dance is coming in. If you didn't attend the concert, well, you had no choice, because here is the colors as Vision out closing in. We're going to see if we get any swap over to the quick bits of damage. Plenty in the arsenal. Super Gomez, patience on his, but guess what? Dogman, patience on the meteor as he soaks up the Legendary, throws it down. No connection. Both teams at a stalemate, and it's already 99% for Sentinels. Shroud X is going to have to pull something out of their pocket here.
Oh.
And Kaluj with the slam again. And it's the exact same story, my friend.
It is Dominion over this setup. I loved the little retreat that Sentinels had in that setup. They pulled back to their side of the point, forced the overextended hand from Shroud, and they punish hard.
Now listen, we saw what happened on Royal Palace domination, and it just, Shroud X was very uncomfortable, because when the fight is pure chaos right away, you can see Sentinels very comfortable with that. Hence why we're going into domination again, and they're picking up right where they left up on that first win of match one. Right now, this is going to be a bit of a struggle, and they have a lot to play down from. Shroud X looking at their ultimates. What do you see?
30 seconds.
Hey, we got a little bit of time here, at least for both sides. I think a little bit closer for Shroud for sure, but I'm looking at Fidel and Impunity. They're going to need some duelist ultimates to back them up, though, so I expect them to hold on to those earlier on. But honestly, for Shroud, I mean, you were able to get this series to 1-1 off a very good defense on Convoy, but I need to see that consistency on a map, on a domination map in particular, and try to see these step up from Doomed and Vision. Try to get these angles in here and take the better of Super Gomez and Amazing, because right now it is a little bit of a duelist diff.
Absolutely here. Yeah, as you said, everyone kind of, they're on the exact same playing field. We could get an early fate of both worlds. There wouldn't be a lot outside of just keeping the team alive, but they're going to use it because it's that important to get this first cap here as Dogman closing in. Eric Magneto himself as they are going with pure aggression, but both teams not afraid to try to get the opening pick here. Knuckle forced to use the lanterns early. That's going to come in handy as we know Super Gomez is going to put that pressure on early. Here comes the barrage, but Rory is going to be the first to laugh as Loki does often, taking down Dogman of all, and Super Gomez is going to sweep the back. Ooh.
Oh, there's just nothing he can do. He's got the... Okay, maybe he's got a little bit of some pressure on him. That Fate of Both Worlds did end up getting utilized there, but he's just chunking him, man. What can this team not do?
Did he even miss a shot on the Groot head there? I mean, that was
so.
just every single blaster hit. They give you like 40. He doesn't need any but 10 and lands it perfectly. On top of that, Sentinels looking pretty in the ultimate department, able to trade nicely here. And right now, with these two teams, it has come down to that orchestration of the Symphony of Ultimates. Super Gomez, yet again, doomed. Had a laugh on the last map of Spider Island, but right now, Super Gomez is in the captain's chair.
He's definitely get the better of him. You have to think a lot of this. I mean, we still have another map after this if Sentinels are to take this one pretty dominantly. But 100 Thieves are sitting there waiting for you in that upper finals. And I know these teams are looking forward to that, but they got to cross the finish line here in this one as we see Ultimates abound, Cozy.
I know Sentinels want to fight 100 Thieves yet again. Crimso, though, taking down Impunity. They got to finish this fight first, and it's looking likely as they're just perfectly staggering what they have available. Yes, there's a legendary, but no, my goodness, shuts down as Fidel goes down. Vision, and at this moment, there's just not a lot they even have to use. Dogman forced to use the Meteor M to keep himself alive, counter a little bit. But again, Rai Mason, there's a new Guardian of the Galaxy in Rai Mason because Super Gomez is leading the squad.
I'm just imagining that Thor moment when they're talking in that post-scene credit, but it's just two Peter Quills and they're just having conversations here. That's what's going on. But it is still a very heavily favored conversation from Sentinels, who have been fully dominant in this third map, and they still have Super Gomez with his ultimate. His angles, his flanks have been second enough.
Yeah, no Magneto to counter it here. This is going to be the death sentence. I mean, that is the counter you need. You're going to be forced now to use the abilities you need to hold on to for what is going to be the impending rest of them. Able to back up, though, and survive, but it's now at 90%, so now they're forced to be aggressive, even when they maybe don't want to. But Fidel does have the Fate of Both Worlds, going to give them plenty of that chance to recap.
Get on the point.
Can they do it? At 98, 99, overtime has hit here, and this is going to be it for at least this second match. Now, Rai Mason trying to get a pick here, trying to get something rolling for his team, but Vision trading, getting Kalush down. This could be the winnable fight for Shroud X to start the heat and get the fire going. Now, not getting Rai Mason, this is comfortable for Shroud X for at least a little bit.
I mean, now they can push back a little bit of the pressure that Sentinels has been pushing on them, but they can't overextend. That's one of the things in this game, specifically both these two maps that we've seen, that I really love from Sentinels is they have been very reserved on when to know to pull back and to kind of refocus that center, and they have done so beautifully multiple times.
We saw Sentinels not use ultimate abilities too for a while and kept the pressure. We need them to do that because then Shroud X, all that has to happen. Wow, the pick from Air Boy from downtown, taking up Vision. Because now all they have to do is use everything they have in the vault, empty it up, no money left, but Rai Mason, Fidel taken down, and we're seeing it right here. Dogman though with the double slam jam again. Beautiful Meteor M. We saw one from Kalush, now Dogman getting a piece of the pie, and they did exactly what you want to see. They were able to respond without using at least everything because they still have Vision's tracking attack.
Hey, we'll take that. You have one thing left that's more than nothing, and that is a dub in my regard. Now, a re-push back. This is starting to get to the desperation territory for Sentinels if they want to push the point. About 65% of the way there. Maybe one, maybe two more pushes left for them.
No shot Shroud X gets this. This would blow my mind if they were able to flip what was a 99 and advantage down. This would be an insane ignition to the momentum they're going to be looking for if they want to play the upper bracket finals. This is their time to do so. Stakes are on the line. They want to play 100 Thieves. Air Mori, though, got the snipe earlier. Can she get it again? She's poking out and getting as much as she can possibly do in healing and damage. Loki showing why he's the strategist god himself, but there's the legendary Super Gomez putting the pressure on. There is no ultimate to answer from Dogman, but taking a lot of pressure, forcing strategists to heal up in the back there. Kalush getting the nice pressure early. What Magneto will fall first? First none because Fate of Both Worlds keeping everybody alive. The damage swap feed. Bam! Great patience from Kalush. The Vanguard's getting it done here, and my goodness, that was the perfect orchestration of both Ultimates and Super Gomez, Rai Mason cleaning up the job.
They haven't lost a single one. Like, they have just full cleaned out Shroud from the point, taking it back over, and now the overtime is ticking.
Can you imagine being in the shoes of that Magneto that's holding up the shield? You look up, you've got the purple meteor just looking at you in the face, and Kalush is just waiting to click the button and end the lives, and they do so of Shroud X. It's now 2-1.
God, what a matchup. I mean, it was a 2-0 on the domination map, but God, there were so many moments that seemingly were going to turn the tide, and the coach himself gets the MVP. A massive step up from Crimzo on a team that needs its centerpiece frontliner.
Yeah, right now they have found that identity back, and it's in this team that comp that they have all together. Obviously, they're missing Hogs, but they've been able to find some fire here. Shroud X, they've performed great in this tournament. It's not like this is a team just to easily stomp on. We saw the fight back from Spider Island, but in domination right now, I can assure you that's not what Shroud X wants to do, because there is so much pressure on that first point pick. And as a team, you're seeing that experience a little bit come, towards the Sentinels. We've got one more potential match to get things rolling, but let's go ahead and live through the highlights. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. We just finished yet another electric matchup of domination, and we now head into what is do or die for Shroud X to stay alive in the upper bracket and potentially be forced to go down into the depths of the lower bracket, where desperation hits heavy and elimination is on the line. What do you need to see from them, Mazel, here to get the W and go 2-2?
Well, a little bit of pretense of why you don't want to go to that lower brackets, because FlyQuest and Les Amonts are down there, and those are some terrifying teams as well. But now looking forward here, I think we saw some really solid, gameplay strategies coming through from Sentinels themselves, utilizing this very meta style composition, but also having really good timings with Aramori, having those big moments on the Loki as well. On the other side of things, at least for Shroud, I mean, I definitely want to see a pickup of maybe a different style of composition, something that maybe flexes towards their comforts a little bit as well, as we already see the Star-Lord banned out by them.
With Doom playing it great, but they were like, you know what? We're going to shut down. But now Wolverine's up for grabs. And here's the thing. We have not seen Wakanda this map. This is the hardest first cap to get within the Convergence lineup. So I love that this is the choice they made here. Loki saved there from the Sentinels. Love to see the pick, and potentially, what does that mean? A triple Vanguard? They're going to go back to the roots on that? Maybe. We'll have to see. But there's a lot up on the grabs line right now, because Adam Warlock, Kurova would love that to slip through the cracks there. Namor, so there's so much going on with this pick and ban.
There's so much. And I'm wondering now, what is the presence of Luna Snow banned away? We get the group ban as well.
Oh my.
So saying that Shroud don't want to deal with Crimzo's Groot, and we'll see what the final ban is. I mean, I feel like it has to be Luna, right?
Dude, there's Wolverine now. Wolverine Bucky's going to be played by both teams no matter what. And Adam Warlock is definitely going to stay unbanned. They're going to play.
Oh, it's so difficult.
There could be Adam and Mantis, just them two together, and then they go with the triple support. That gives them everything they need. They're going to shut down the Luna. And we can get either triple Vanguard here, or we're going to see, there it is. This is the triple support with Loki, Mantis. Yeah, I knew it. They can't resist it. Kurova is too good with the Golden God, man.
I love to see it as well. It's so funny because we were actually, last time we got to cover Shroud as well, they did go with that triple res composition, and Vision was looking so good on the Adam Warlock there. Wonder if they want to go with something along those lines this time around, but it is going to be so difficult to get Sentinels off of these pushes. They are on defense, so they have a very stalwart composition moving forward.
Yeah, and this is exactly what they wanted. They wanted Gomez to play Star-Lord so great that they're forced to ban it, which opens up every other pick, because at that point, what are you going to ban, right? I'm a little shocked by the Crimzo group ban because of impunity and with Wolverine being opened, right? So like you would think those two would be enough to keep that, Groot at bay a bit. But Groot can also make a big impact on this map, and I think they just don't want to deal with it. We often see the portal on this opening fight just allows them to have enough reset time. Again, if you see it early cap, that's going to spell everything because this map is hard to take.
Yeah. And we were talking about some of the supportive setups that Sentinels have. They also have the portal for Kaluj, so being able to get back to the fight, even if they do get wiped, will be super important. A little bit of scouting, a little bit of a deep TP, and this is where Shroud maybe want to get things kicked off here. They're going to try to go through. That was so wild.
A close counter portal. A close counter portal. We almost, saw the multitude of madness of the multiverse of madness as we see an often portal spot in the back line here. Doom trying to get that early pick, and this could make a big difference as we also have Storm Vision really forcing them to go back. But here's the passive. Kurova is down, but is able to respawn, same as Mantis, and Super Gomez doing what he does best, and where he left off, he plays a great Psylocke, doesn't need to have the Star-Lord there. And even though there's some, that's a better pick though. Super Gomez is going to be unable to res, obviously, like Mantis and Adam.
I really like this aggressive setup from Shroud that they took the point here. They're pushing Sentinels off of it, and Vision finally goes down on the Storm, but he was having such impact. Now the invisible boundary is going to be trying at least coming to use here, trying to get the space on the point.
Who's on offense and who's on defense here with how that works out, right? Push them to their own spawn, but Crimson Super Gomez picking up the scraps. Gomez coming back from the spawn, and they were forced to face both ways the sandwich, as we called it earlier there. And that was a nice cleanup job and a great, honest though, first attempt from Shroud X to get 2 of the 3. They'll take it.
It is tough though, man, because you're starting to get ramped up on the ultimates for the side of Sentinels. Crimzo's gonna have his, Super Gomez almost on his, Kurova has the Born again coming up as well, and it's just gonna be so difficult to push. You have plenty of time to work with, but Shroud, you got to make something work, and they're going the long way now.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you would like for them to be able to snowball that success. Now Super Gomez having that access to the Dance of the Butterflies is going to put a lot of punish on Fidel because they don't have any support.
There it goes.
And here it is. This is going to be exactly what was just stated. There's no way to protect yourself from all the swords. But what they did great is they grouped up there to try to minimize the amount of slashes going to each individual. Great coordination there. But unfortunately, it's a little too late as they're going to be forced to reset here with only 1:49 left.
Yeah, even if you're separating some of those slashes, they still do work. And then there was ripe for the pickups on the back end of that one. Now, Shroud, they have resets. They need to get together. They have this tornado. They have everything available to them, Shroud. They need to make a push. You have to remember, this is the upper bracket lives of Shroud on the line in this map.
And they actually have a portal they can use with about 10 seconds left for the cooldown, so they're going to be able to use that, which is going to come in handy. Look for the Agamotto, though, right now. Here comes the Wrath of the Goddess. Vision with the Omega, but Super Gomez gets the clean slice through Doomed, and this is going to be difficult now as the Omega is going to maybe get an elimination, but we got the Born Again from Kurova. They're going to have to get multiple eliminations, starting with one, and that is Aramori, but Super Gomez showing great patience on the support, dives in and eliminates Fidel, and that's going to really put Shroud X back as they're going to have to reset one last time for the portal win. That's a tough way for that to go.
Just watching Super Gomez sit behind them and nobody can do anything about it. This guy is turning it up to 11 right now, and it is a full-on wipe from Sentinels.
Yeah, I mean, that's as good as you can get there, and they had everything. Shroud X had every ultimate to use there, and unfortunately it just kind of staggered through. They did force the Born Again, which is nice, but look what's in the tank for Sentinels. They've got an Agamotto and the Sword Slash Butterflies from Super Gomez. I mean, what are you gonna do against that? This is gonna be an uphill battle to say the least, but it could only be 2 ticks that they need, and they've gotten to win this, right? This is a tough one to cap, so 2 ticks is nice. But here we go. Kalu trying to get a counter portal. Does he land that? Oh my gosh. He lands it. That's impeccable. Kalu.
No.
Bringing the multiverse of madness to them. Look at that block. It's sensational.
Oh, man. That is not the way you want to go down. Don't even get the 3 cap on the first point. Sentinels, they know what's in store for them in this upper bracket run, and they are hungry, Cozy.
Yo, that portal placement was great. I mean, I'm so glad we had the camera there on Kaluj to be able to see him pop into the last second. And what, honestly, guts. You have an Eye of Agamotto, and you're like, you know what? I'll just block him off with my other magic, showing that he's truly the Sorcerer Supreme. When needed, he's calculated all the results, and he knew what he needed to do at that moment. just like against Thanos himself. And we're going to head into what is going to be the last desperation from Shroud X to stay alive.
And this is tough because you look back to the picks and the protects, at least in the bans, and we asked, you know, is it going to be worth it to let some of these things through? And unfortunately, that Star-Lord duel has given way to a Psylocke duel that now Shroud want nothing to do with because Super Gomez is too good. So trying to adapt that strategy now for Shroud with a very defensive style comp on defense to try to just hold this point as long as possible.
Yeah, they're going to have to play risky to do that, too, because you just can't allow anything. But with risk, you know, comes that reward, and they're going to look to capitalize on it. Impunity with the Thing swap here, I like it. I think that is going to at least help with the double shield action that they have, as stated. But here we go, man. We're going to have that portal up early and often. I've been loving Collusion's portal today, that's for sure. As here we go, we got the view from the dome itself, and he's going low to the ground. I like this.
Yeah, they might actually have a little bit of a fun angle here, right onto the point pressure too. And it looks like they actually are just going to use this second level up here from Shroud to get this defensive nature off.
Using the portal as like a wall. It's beautiful. Great. Coming into their vision, though, getting the best of Collusion. That's going to be a very clutch pick. And right now, Super Gomez is going to have to just try to get out of there. But he's not going to leave without the blood. Takes down Nug. Beautiful. Even though he goes down, he's not going to go down without a fight, man.
He is not at all. I do like this reset point, though, from Shroud. Try to get this defense off. Oh, my gosh. Garova gets the KO, and that's an Adam Warlock right there.
They've got a portal in now at this point. No counter portaling happening. They just need to try to get the last desperation. It's the upper bracket. It's about to slip from their hands. It's over. No, there's a touch. Hold on.
Come on.
Putting everything they have on the line. This is it. You'll be down to the lower brackets against either Magnets or FlyQuest. Two great teams. Vision with the pop to keep them going, but no one can get off the point. One more tick, and it is Sentinels. Now the full aggression. Sentinels know they can play with everything they have because they are in the driver's seat. All gas, no brakes. The Meteor Ram coming at any point now. Super Gomez with the lock and load as well, but the kidnap from the swap of Doom. Love to see it here as they have the Agamotto popping out from Cluj. Will this make the difference? Up, Adam, Crypto down, Garova picks a knock. This is what you want to see for the last bit of fight. Super Gomez with the dash.
I don't know if they can handle it. They're still on the point. This is the longest overtime I've ever seen. And Shroud, they don't want to be knocked down. Cozy, they don't want to go.
But Kaloo says down. You go to the lower brackets as the Sentinels look dominant in this matchup. Wow, what an overtime that was. And honestly, a valiant effort there on what was not the best circumstance that they had to come back from. Shroud X, great job. We'll see you in the lowers. But Sentinels, we got the rematch. 100 Thieves, man. Sentinels, you guys love to see it.
It is a rematch that everybody wants to see, but it's also a rematch I know these players want to have. A lot of history already in the early infancy of Marvel Rivals between these two organizations. And I know Sentinels had that in mind when they just put down Shroud. They say, 100 Thieves, you see this? We're coming for you next.
Absolutely. And look, it doesn't matter if it's Star-Lord, Psylocke, 15 final hits from Super Gomez. You got to be kidding me. 12,000 damage. Love to see it. You guys have heard the song a million times. Rivals till the end. That's what we have with Sentinels and 100 Thieves. And Shroud X looks to climb back in it. Guys, somehow, we're still just getting started. We're in the early rounds. We're going to be heading and looking at what is going to be some electric lineups. And tell me, from what we've seen so far, what are you excited to see, Mazel?
Oh, man, I want to see what Les Amont have to say in that lower bracket as well. Right. See what that's going to lead out towards, because there's a lot going for that team. And I'm honestly expecting maybe that 100 Thieves Les Amont rematch in that finals after that lower bracket run. But there's a lot of tough teams down there. I still think that the brightest showing has been Les Amont on the day, even if they lost. 100 Thieves have been building up pressure, and that's always nice to see.
I'm so glad you called that out, because I want to see that team against anyone that's not what is right now the best team in the NA, right? Like, they had so much to show, and so, like, if we get them versus FlyQuest, that's going to be an electric matchup. There's a lot of potential things that we could see. And, again, all these teams, they're playing for the glory, the money, but also the banners, the flexes. Guys, let's relive Sentinels, Shroud X, then we're going to head to the next round. We'll see you there.